Start. Okay, so in the last session, what we have been seeing, we have been seeing that detailed concept of the HDFS and its architecture, right? We have been also seen that what is the HDFS daemons, right? We have been also seen that blot, replication, then HDFS federation, then fault tolerance, then fencing, then failover, right? So likewise we have been seen as possible as all the we are trying to cover, we have been trying to cover all the required concept of the HDFS in the last session as well the theory question. Okay, so in today's session that today we'll see that how HDFS actually work, what we need to work with the Hadoop, right? Because the HDFS is nothing but that is one of the tools, one of the ecosystem tools of the Hadoop which help us for storing the data, right? So Hadoop HDFS is for store the data, and for the processing of the data we have other tools, right? So right now we are only discussing that how to store the data using the HDFS, right? How HDFS can store the data. So today we'll see maximum commands which normally used, or we can call the basic command which actually required, right, for communicate with the HDFS. As a developer, if I want to communicate with the Hadoop storage system, so we should know at least this much command. So today we'll try to cover top 30 commands of the HDFS, right? So we'll see how which kind of commands we have, how we'll start, that we'll discuss later on. Okay, first, how to start the Hadoop. So Hadoop has three type of Hadoop you can install in your systems. One, that is called a standalone system. Second is pseudo mode distributed system, pseudo distributed systems. Second one, and third one, that is called multi-node distributed systems. Single node or standalone node, we can call the standalone node is also called as a single node cluster, single node Hadoop distributed cluster, where your master and slave, both node is your single machine. Your single machine is a master node as well as a slave node. Means your computers where you have been stored that a single node cluster, that single machine is responsible to work as a data node as well as a name node. Right? We are not set up any other computers for as a name node right now, because we are using the single node cluster. We are using the single node cluster where my masters and slave, both node is my single machine, is my standalone machine which I am using right. Second is a pseudo distributed mode. This is pseudo distributed mode is just provide an environments. You feel that you are using the multi-node cluster, but it is not multi-node cluster, but it's just give you a feel of the multi-node cluster, right? but it is not a multi-node. But you can feel that in a single machine, if you set up the pseudo distributed mode, right, so just feel that we have multiple nodes, that is my slave, and I have my one master slave, which are connected to the multiple slave. Master is connected with the multiple slave. This kind of feeling or environment provided by the pseudo distributed one, but it is not actually this kind of thing was there. Third is a multi-node cluster. Multi-node cluster is what? Where you have a one computer, where you require minimum two computers. One is your master node and second one is your slave node. Means we can call that one is your name node and second is your data node. Where your master node and data node are connected using some network, using the IP. We can call that using the IP. We are connect my data node with the master node. Right? So by means in simple terms, where you are using more than one node, that is become the multi. And node is nothing but a computer systems, right? So right now we are using the single node cluster for performing these all the operations, right? So in single nodes, my single machine is responsible to work as a data node as well as the name nodes, right? And after that, after completion these HDFS and this all thing, then we'll also try to how to make a multi-node cluster. We'll try to install a multi-node cluster in our lab, and then we'll try to how to work a master and slave, how to communicate master with slave and slave with master. That will also see, right? But right now we'll work only on standalone, or we can call the single node cluster, right? Clear? Okay. So if I will ask that how many way you can use the Hadoop, so we have three ways. One is a single node cluster, second one is a pseudo distributed node cluster, and third one is a multi node cluster. You can install the Hadoop by three different ways, right? Single node cluster is what? Where you have a one computer which is responsible for data node as well as the name node, which is responsible for master as well as slave. Pseudo distributed mode is also a single node cluster, but it gives us a feel like a multi node cluster. And multi node, where we have a minimum two nodes, one is your master and second one is your slave, which are connected to the network. A simple three kind of distributed systems we have in Hadoop. So may I ask how many distributed system in Hadoop? So three distributed systems. Single node distributed system, pseudo distributed mode system, and multi node distributed system, right? Okay, right now we'll see that how we can start the Hadoop, how we can work with the HDFS. So for that we have been seen in our previous session that we have a three type of Hadoop tool, or we can call the Hadoop customized version. We have three different Hadoop customized version. One is provided by the Cloudera, second is your Hortonworks, right, and third one is your Mapper. And if you are not, if you do not want to use that customized form of the Hadoop, so you can use the Apache Hadoop. You can download the Apache Hadoop and then you can install it in your computers, and then you can start with the Hadoop, right? So in open source which provided by the Apache, you can download it, and then you need to set up first, you need to install first, and then you can work with Hadoop. But in customized form of the Hadoop, you do not need to do this kind of step. You just download it, put it that file in one machine, and then it will start, because they have all the Hadoop ecosystem tools within its customized version, right? So right now we are using the Cloudera to start, right? So we have a Cloudera. Basically Cloudera not provide everything is free. right? But for learner who want to learn the Hadoop and its ecosystem tools, so Cloudera provide one free version that is called the Cloudera Twist Start, right? Just you can download it. As the same way, Hortonworks provide the sandbox. You can download the sandbox for work with the Hortonworks. Both have a different requirements of the hardware, right? So if you want to use the Hortonworks sandbox, so it may have a 12 GB of RAM. They require 12 GB of RAM. When if you are using the Cloudera Twister, so they may need at least 8 GB of RAM. Right? So minimum requirement of for use of customized form of the Hadoop, you should have a 8 GB of RAM. If you have a 8 GB of RAM, then you can work with the Cloudera. Right? The latest version of the Cloudera. Keep in mind the latest version of the Cloudera, right? So how you can work with the Clouderas? So just go to the Cloudera website, click onto the download. You will find out the download over here product, right? So we have multiple product right now. Then we have a Cloudera quick start. Just click on it. Once you have been clicked, you will find out this kind of thing that you have a Cloudera CDH 5.13 Cloudera distributed Hadoop version, that is 5.13, right? That is called the single node cluster. Keep in mind that is a single node cluster, right? So how you can start? So you can install the Cloudera in 3 to 4 different environments. One is a virtual board. You can install the Cloudera using the virtual boards. Second, you can use the VMware. You can use the Docker image as a Docker. You can use it. And third one is as a KVM. But normally we will use as a VMware or a virtual boards. So right now we are using a Cloudera by a virtual machine or virtual bots. So I need to select a virtual bot as a platform. It said that in which platform you want to install this Cloudera, right? So I want to install this Cloudera in a virtual box. Using a virtual bot, I will start a Cloudera, right? So I will select a virtual bot as a platform. If you want to start as a VMware as a platform, you can select the VMware. Then go to Write It Now. Just you fill it the form. Once you have been filled this form, the file will be download automatically. It will start, right? Okay. So I have been already downloaded, and I have already downloaded that file, and that is called the Cloudera Twiststart 5133. This is my file, right? Cloudera Twiststart VM virtual bots, right? That is virtual bots, right? I have been installed it. I have been already downloaded. Just you have to unzip. Once you have been downloaded, it's give you it's downloaded in a zip format. You need to unzip the file. Once you have been unzip the file, you will find out the two file. One is your virtual bots and second one is it's this image, right? That is the important for set up the Cloudera in your virtual bots. We need one operating system disk image. Right? So once you have been there, so just you need to open the virtual bots, right? Thereafter you need to set up everything. So I have been set up. You can go to the new, then reverse the version. Then I have which version I have. I need to select. First of all, I have other. You can go for the other. Then you have, sorry, you go to the Linux. I have a Linux because the Hadoop basically work onto the Linux environments. So you just select on the Linux and then go to the other Linux version, or we have a CentOS. right now we have a Sant OS, so you can select the Sant OS over here. If you have a Sant OS, you can select, else you go for the other Linux version, right? So right now every virtual operating system disk it is into the 64 bits. So I will select 64 bit and then go to the review the name of your operating systems, right? So I will give the my OS and then go to the next, and then you need to customize your memory. So I will provide maximum memory to the drive. So at least you drive more than 5 MB of RAM, sorry, more than what it said, the select the amount of memory in megabytes to the allocated to the virtual machine. So at least you need to give the 5 GB of RAM minimum. As a computer you require the 8 GB of RAM, and out of 8 GB they at least need a 5 GB or more than 5 GB. So you just give a 5 to 6 GB RAM. You must have to be allocated to the that virtual operating system which you are installing into the virtual box, right? Then go to the next, and accordingly you just do the all the steps, right? But just keep in mind that you need to select the processor as a two processors. At the time I need to start the two process, one my Windows operating system, it also should be started properly, also it should be run properly, and another is my virtual operating system is also should be run properly. So as a time the two processors should be start, two processing should be start. So for that you just select the processor as a two processors, else other are by default you just check it and go. Then you just have I have then you will find out whatever name you are given, that is my OS, that according that right now I have a Cloudera one, just you select and start it. Clear up to this? How to start, how to install? Okay. We will also see that how to install the single node cluster, how to do a setup a single node cluster into the using into the Ubuntu. Just you install the Ubuntu in your machine and then uh, do a manual installations without using any kind of this customized form of the Hadoop. You can also do that. So we'll see later on. But right now we'll use the Cloudera, right? So once you have been start the Cloudera, you will find out one operating system. You look like this, right? Then this is my Hadoop. You will find out this is my Hadoop, right? You will find out like this. This is the Cloudera, right? Then just open the browser. I have been open this browser or Cloudera, right? So this is my Cloudera. Okay. Now I need to work with the Hadoop. So we have a different tools. You can find out the Hue and Impala. Impala and Hue both are used for the database query. Impala is one type of database that you can use with the Hadoop, right? And for the work with the Impala, you need to fire some query. For fire some query, you can use the Hue. This kind of tools we have. HBase is we have Spark. So we have all the tools we have right now in my this virtual. The Cloudera is nothing but the collection of all the ecosystem tools of the Hadoop, right? So right now I want to work with the Hadoop. So just go to the Hadoop, open the HDFS name node, right? And then you go to the utility and select on the browse the file system. We'll see how it works. Just see the overviews. So that is my Hadoop overviews. So I have a twist start. Hadoop is default run onto the 8020 or 50070. If I will install the Hadoop manually in my computer system, so the default port number is 50070, right? Then how many space I have been given? I have been given around 55 GBs for storing the data in these virtual box. I have been allotted to the this Cloudera machine. Out of that, I have been just used around 1890 MB of space. I have been just used still date, right? Then data node. So this is my data node. Right now I have one data nodes only. I haven't so much data node. I have only one data nodes, which is okay, and which have around 122 plot. 1222 plot have been created in this data node, right? By default, when you install first time, it is 0. I have been worked so many times in this Cloudera, so that's why it shows the 122 kind of data node plot. Then failure, is there any failure occurred in the data nodes? So that is still, I haven't find out any failures in my this Cloudera machine as a data nodes. And snapshot, if you create some snaps, so you will find out startup progress. So this is all the process required file which are run behind the process for start these data nodes and all that. So all are working properly 100%. Now the major is utility, where you find out the browse file system. This is my actual HDFS. This is my actual HDFS. This symbol is stand for root. If I will return like this, just keep in mind, if I will return like this, that is called the root. It's called the root, right? Root have a user directory. Root users, inside the users you have a Cloudera. It's your default directory for the HDFS, right? But that is not compulsion that every HDFS file you must need to store in this directory. You can create your own directory for storing the data onto the HDFS, right? Then likewise we have a Hive is there, Flume is there, OZ is there, Gentin is there, Spark is there, every directory inside the users, right? We'll see later on one by one how we work with the Hive, how we work with the Pit. So up to this it should be very much clear how we can start the Hadoop, right? Okay, just still up to this time we have been seeing that how to download the Cloudera, where to start machine, how to set up that machine into the your computer system as a single node cluster, and when once you have been installed, when you open your browsers for this, so it shows all the descriptions of the data nodes or HDFS, right? Or Hadoop, we can call the Hadoop. Okay, now I want to work with the Hadoop. So once you have been open computer, so you have a file systems. Inside the file system you have a home directory. Inside the home directory you have a Cloudera directories, and inside the Cloudera directory you can install all your, you can create all your files, right? So this is my home directories, right? So root, home, inside the home, that is a Cloudera directory. Inside the Cloudera you can create your whole uh, local files. You can create your own local files. So right now we have two machines inside the same virtual box. One is your this operating system which you have been installed, that is your local machine, that become your local machine, and second is your HDFS, is your remote machine, it become your remote machine or Hadoop machine, we can call the Hadoop. Okay, now how we can start to open the terminal. So once you have been open the terminals, right? So first, now let me start the command. Okay. Up to this over, is there any query? Okay. So let me start the commands. It is the first command that is called the fsct. It shows that the health of your Hadoop file systems. It shows the health of the Hadoop file system. So how we can write that? So HDFS fsct hyphen. So it shows the overall health of your Hadoop file systems, right? So you can find out over here that all are healthy. Total disk size is this much directory that I have been created, this much file that I have been created, right? So everything is over here, you can find out, right? I have one Hadoop demo directory. Inside that I have HDFS demo.txt, which have a total 2 replications. I have been created 2 replications for that, but at the time, because we are using the single node cluster, so at a time only one replication is live. So that is one live replication is over here, right? Second is there, but it is dead. It is in dead mode or inactive mode. We call the inactive mode, but 2 replication is still there. One is active and second is inactive. Why it is inactive? Because we are working with the single node cluster. If we are using the multi node cluster, the both replications should be live, right? So that means the all the HDFS or Hadoop relevant informations regarding their size, how many directories is there, how many space is available, all the health profile of that HDFS or Hadoop cluster will provide by this fsct command. Clear up to this? Clear? Then written like this as well. Both are valid. If you give the space, sorry, then okay. So space is required. Okay. Then I will see another commands that I want to see that how many directory I have been created inside the Hadoop file systems. So HDFS is a command, HDFS. Then distributed file system. HDFS is a tools which you are used, and inside we are used the distributed file system. So distributed file systems, then hyphen ls and slash. So it shows all the directories which you have been created inside the Hadoop distributed file system or HDFS cluster, which you are able to view over here. Whatever you are seen over here, you can see over here. That same thing, if you want to see onto the command, using the commands on your terminals, you can see this is all the commands, all the files you can listed over here. Right. So you can see that my first directory is HDFS demo, and the last directory is wh output1, right? So same you can find out over here. My first directory is what? HDFS demo, and the last one is a wh output1. Clear? So first command is, my first command is fsct. Second one ls, for what? For display the list of HDFS directory. All the directory which you have been created inside the HDFS that you want to list it, for that you can use the ls command. For that you can use the ls command. Clear up to this? For a third one, that is called the, if you want to create your own directory, if you want to create your own directories. How we can create? So for that, you just write, see, Hadoop HDFS has some commands, and HDFS also follow a Linux command. The basic Linux command you need to you should be know what the basic Linux commands we have, right? Because the if you want to communicate with the HDFS, for HDFS, for communicate with the HDFS, you should know the Linux command, right? Because we have a Linux terminals. So using the Linux command, you can communicate with the HDFS. So you should know the Linux command as well as the HDFS command. The combination of that two command, you can communicate with the Hadoop cluster. You can communicate with the Hadoop cluster. Hadoop cluster is nothing but my HDFS. If I am talking about the cluster, that is nothing but your HDFS, right? Okay. Now third thing, that I want to create my own directory inside the Hadoop cluster, right? So what I need to return, the first one, that is HDFS. Okay, first I will clear the screen. Then I need to create my own directory, the HDFS DFS, then hyphen mkdir. If you want to create the directory in Linux, which command you use? mkdir. Same command I am using over here, mkdir. I want to create my directory, that is called the emp master. I want to create my directory, that is name called the emp master, inside the root, and inside the root I want to create my directory, that is name of the emp master. So the directory is created successfully. Now I want to see that directory is there or not. Which command I will use? The ls okay. So let me see that. Okay, where is the emp master, is there or not? Okay, emp master. Right now I have how many data? 27 items I have. So just same thing you will find out over here. Just you need to do a refresh your HDFS cluster or Hadoop cluster, and then you will find out the emp master, which are still empty directory, because inside that directory we are not putting anything. Now I want to put one file inside that directory. So how we can put the files? So for that I need to create a file in my local machine, because all the file where we have all the file in my local machines. So what I need to do, I will create one file inside my file system, that is home, and inside the Cloudera I will create one file that is called create a documents, that is called the, and the file name, that is the emp data dot txt. I will create one file that is called the emp data dot txt, right? Then I just open it, right? I will return that one. Okay, just I will return this file contain my employee data, like its name, address, designations, etc, right? Just this was thing I need to write. You can write all lot many things, right, if you want, but right now I will write with the right now I am trying to learn a query how we can work with the Hadoop clusters, right? So then after, just save it and close it. Now I have one file that is called the employee data. Inside that we have something. Inside that we have something. Okay, now I want to move this file. I want to put this file into the Hadoop cluster. I have this file on my local machine. That file I want to put into the Hadoop cluster. So how I can put? So just start your terminal. First of all, I will clear my screen. Then what command? That is HDFS. Then DFS. Then you use the put. You use the put. Then after you give the two paths. One is your source and second one is your destinations. My source is there. My source inside the home. Home inside we have a Cloudera, and inside Cloudera I have a emp data.text. This is my source path. From this path I want to move a file. I want to copy this file to the Hadoop cluster inside the emp master directory. Where I have been created emp master directory? Root. Inside the root I have a emp master, and inside the emp master I want to put this file. I want to put this file. Clear up to this? Okay, so just I will press the enter. Okay, very successfully executed. Okay, so right now I have a file inside the Cloudera, inside the local machine, right? As well as I have a file inside the emp master as well. You can find out over here. Now you can see what is the block size. 128 MB. Are you able to view this thing? Okay, now it's okay. So that is block size is 128 MB. Why? Because I am using the Hadoop version 2 or later. Replications only one. How many size of my actual file is 72 bytes. Where you have been created 10th February, right? My owner is Cloudera, group is super groups, and user is a Cloudera as a users, right? What is the permission? So we have a owner, group and user permissions. Three permissions we have: owner, group and user permissions. So read write, user can read and write, group and owner can read a file. Clear? Okay. Now another commands we have, right? So we have another command as well, that is called, if in place of the put, I want to use another commands. So I can use copy from local. Another command in place of put, you can use this command as well, that is called the copy from local. Commands will be very much clear. C is small, F is capital, and again L is capitals. Copy from local, right? Then you can use another file. I have another file that is called stored. Which file I have inside the Cloudera? So inside the Cloudera I have another file that is called the tests. Okay, I have another file that is called the test1.txt, right? I have another file that is called the test1.txt. Same file I want to move into the emp master. So is there. Now I will check it out. So file is there or not. Okay, so file is there, test1.txt. Clear? Okay. Now I want to see that how many file inside my directory. Every time not need to go to the Hadoop cluster, then do the refresh, then list and then after it will list out all the files which you have been stored, and then you find out that whatever file I have been moved, it is there or not. I want to see the same thing over here using the commands. Can we? Yes. How? So HDFS, DFS, LS, and then use root EMP master. So inside the EMP master, whatever you have, it will list out. So inside the EMP master, I have two files. One is the text1.txt and second one is the EMP data.txt. Now third thing, I want to create another file inside the EMP master. I want to create another directories inside the running directory. So how we can create it? So the same command that I have been used, that is empty-dir. EMP master I have been already created, and now I will create another directory that is called the EMP backup. I have been created another directory that is name of the EMP backup. Inside the EMP master, root EMP master, and inside the EMP master we have another directory that is name of EMP backup. Okay. Right? Okay. Now I will again list out my EMP master. I want to see that how many files inside the EMP master. So right now I have three things. One is a directory and two is my file. Right? Clear up to this? Okay. Second one, that I want to see that how many size of directory which I have been used. How many size is there? So for that EMP master, I will use another command to check out the size of the file which you have been stored inside the directory. That is called the DU. Which command you will use? DU. DU stand for to check out the size of the file that you have been created inside the Hadoop cluster, which you have been maintained inside the Hadoop cluster. DU, then -s. Then I have a EMP master, and inside the EMP master I have a EMP data.txt. Up to this clear? DU command is for what? To check out the size of the file. So how many size? 72 bytes we are used of the Hadoop cluster for storing this EMP data.txt. Clear? Okay. Second commands that we have, we can use also that another thing, that is I want to read a data which you have been written inside the file. I want to read a data which you have been written inside the files, right? So I have a directory that is a root. Inside we have a EMP master, and inside that I have one file that is the text1.txt or EMP data.txt. Now I want to see that what I have been written inside the EMP data.txt. I want to see that. I just forget what we have been written inside the EMP data.txt. Now I want to see what is inside that EMP data.txt. So how we can see? So for that we have another commands that is called, just I will clear first. Okay, for that we have HDFS, DFS -cat. We have cat commands. Using the cat, you can read a data from the Hadoop cluster. You can read a file from the Hadoop cluster. So we have a EMP master, and inside that we have a EMP data.txt. So inside the EMP data.txt, what we have? So inside the EMP data.txt we have this kind of information that this file contain my employee data like its name, address, designation, etc. In the same way, if I want to see what inside the test1.txt, they can written like this. Right, so it shows that what inside the test1. So we have a three records: one, Dhaval, Sidhu, two, Mahesh, Mehsana, three, Narendra, like this. Right? Now suppose I will return like this. Right? What happened? No file and directory is there. That means what? The file structures of the Hadoop cluster is case sensitive. It might be asked, the Hadoop cluster file system, it is case sensitive or not? So it is case sensitive. Right? Test 1, the T is capital and T is small, both are written as a different way. Clear? Okay. Now I want to create one file. I want to create one file which is empty. I want to create just one file, but that file should not have any data. That is empty. That the file is empty. Now, if I want to create an empty files, I do not need to copy that file from local machine to Hadoop cluster. I need to create that empty file directly onto the Hadoop cluster. I want to create that empty file directly onto the Hadoop clusters. So how we can create it? So for that we have a HDFS, DFS, then TOUCHZ, sorry, CHZ, dot. It is a dot, right? Then where you want to create that empty file. So I want to create that EMP master, and inside that I have been created EMP backup, and inside the backup I want to see that empty.txt. I want to create one empty file, that's name is empty.txt, which I want to create inside the root EMP master, and inside that EMP backup is directory, and inside EMP backup I want to create one empty file. So for creating the empty file, you use the TOUCHZ commands. Now we'll see that it's run. Right now I want to see that file is actually created or not. So I will use the ls command. Now we'll see, oh, it's not display over here. It shows only two file which are inside the EMP master and one directory inside the EMP backup. But I want to see what is inside the EMP backup. So for that you use the same command, but use the properties of the ls, that is called the R. That is called the read all the directories and subdirectories. Now we'll see. Now you can find out. You will find out the difference between ls and lsr command. In ls you will find out only data within the directory, not directory inside another directory. Directory and subdirectories data you are not able to see there. You can only see the super directories data. But I want to see the super directory data as well as the subdirectory data as well. So for that you can use the lsr command. I can return like this, as well as I may use lsr like this. It will give you that the command like it should be like this, ls-r. But it's okay if you return like this, I will work. So by mistake, suppose you will return lsr directly, so it's work in Cloudera. but the basic way is what? Hyphen ls space hyphen r, then your directory. So from inside that directory and whatever inside that subdirectory, that all data will displayed over here using this command. Now you can find out that over here the text1.txt have 58 bytes of size, empdata.txt have 72 bytes as a size, but the empty.txt have allotted a 0 byte because I have been created an empty file. That file haven't any data. That file haven't any data. So if the file haven't any data, that means that size of the file is what? 0. Right. So I will check it out that this shows right or wrong. So what should be the command? Du as then emp master, then emp backup, and inside that I have empty.txt. Clear? Okay. Now we'll see what is the size of that empty.txt which I have been created. So it is a 0 0. It is a 0 0. Clear up to this? 7 commands, 7, 8, 9. 9 commands we have been seeing. 9 to 10 commands. It should be very much clear. Clear? Okay. Now I want to copy. I want to copy a file from emp master to emp backup. Right. So which command I will use? That a copy command that I need to use, that is cp. Okay. Just I will clear all the thing first. So HDFS, DFS, then cp, then we have a emp master. Inside that I have a emp data.txt that I want to copy from emp master to emp backup. So emp master to emp backup slash, over here we'll see. Okay, let me see what is there inside the emp backup right now. We have a emp data.txt, right? So now we have a emp data. To copy we have emp data. One is over here inside the emp master, and one as a backup we have been put it as in the emp backup. That is a cp command. That is called the cp commands. Now I want to move the file. I want to move the file from one directory to another directories. So I will use the SAM command, but in place of this I will use the test1.txt, and I need to use the mv move the file from one directory to another directories. So for that we use the mv commands. We use the mv command. So mv stand for the move. So now what happened, that cp means copy and paste, mv means cut and paste. Should be very much clear. cp means copy and paste, mv means cut and paste. Now we'll see. Now I am doing cut paste. So just I will do the refresh it. So is that text1.txt. Now we'll see that file inside the emp master is there. No, file is not there because I am using the cut paste. I am doing what? Cut and paste. Clear? Okay. Now I want to remove all the trash. Some of the file you have been created and some of the file you have been deleted from the HDFS. Might be. Right? If you delete some file, where it will be gone? In the trash folder. Right? So some of the trash folder also it's created inside the HDFS as well. So if you delete something, right, if I will remove some file, if I will remove a file that is called the text1.txt, so it will delete it from the Hadoop cluster, right? But it not deleted permanently from the Hadoop cluster. It is somewhere. So where it is? Inside the trash. So I want to clear that trash folder. So we have a commands that is called the, right now I will not perform that commands, but you just write down if you want, because I have lot many operation I have been done inside this, but you can perform this command in a lab, right? So HDFS DFS hyphen is just written AXPUNGE, expunge. The command name is expunge. HDFS DFS hyphen expunge. Expunge command is used for delete a file from trash folder. Means simply we can, if we can say that expunge command is used for clear permanently a file from the Hadoop cluster. If you want to clear permanently from your Hadoop cluster, if you want to clear a file which you have been deleted, permanently it should be clear from the Hadoop cluster, then use the expunge. Clear? Up to this? Expunge command is for what? To delete a file from trash folder. Clear? Priya? Imani, clear? Expunge is for what? Clear from the trash folder. And you know what is the trash folder? Recycle bin, right? So recycle bin is nothing but my trash directory. Right? So somehow we can also say that expunge command is used for delete a file from the recycle bin. Right? So we can say the recycle bin as a window users, or we can also say the trash as well. So both have a little bit synonyms. It are synonyms of each other, trash or recycle. Clear? Okay. Then I want to remove a file. I want to remove a file from, okay, I want to remove a file which I have been created as empty. I have been created on empty files inside the EMP backup that I want to clear. I want to delete that file. So what I will use that hyphen remove. RM stand for remove. RM stand for remove. Then EMP master, and inside that I have a EMP backup, and inside that I have a empty.txt. Right? So we'll see that it's clear or not. Okay, so file is deleted, EMP text. Now we'll rephrase it. So EMP backups, so file is not there. So RM is used for the remove the file, but I want to remove the directory. I want to remove a directory. How we can remove? So I want to remove a directory name called the HDFS demo, which I have been created. So just I will go to over here. So I have been created one directory that is HDFS demo. Inside that we have empty.txt, HDFS demo.txt that I want to delete. So what I will need, return remove directory is R, then I will return HDFS underscore demo. So whatever inside the HDFS demo and itself HDFS demo, it's deleted from the Hadoop cluster. But if you want to delete only the subdirectory inside the HDFS demo, suppose I have been created HDFS backup, so you can just write like this, right? But I want to delete all the data from HDFS demo, as well as HDFS demo is also should be deleted. So remove, then R. is used for remove the directories. HDFS demo is remove. Now we'll see that, just refresh. So path does not exit. Why? Because HDFS demo is now no more. It's deleted. That is one command. Now in place of RMR, I want to use another command. I can use that HDFS, DFS, then I can use the RMDIR, that is remove directory. I can use like this as well. Then you just give your HDFS demo like this. This command is also used for remove the directories. So you can use RMDIR command as well as you can use the RM then hyphen R command also you can use. Right. So both are working the same kind of work. Right. Okay. Then I want to see the use of the directory. I want to see the help of some specific command. I want to see a help of some specific. I know the command name, but I don't know what I need to return within that command. I don't know. Suppose I want to see that HDFS, then DFS, then uses. The command name is uses. Then I will return mkdir. I know that mkdir is used for creating the directory, but how I can use that? I don't know. So just I will press the enter. So you can see what it will say mkdir, and then you can just give your path. This kind of help, if you want, you can use the uses command. You use the uses. Suppose I want to use that. What is ls? How we can work with the ls command? So we will find out the ls using the c, d, s, q, r, t, s. These all are the properties of the ls command. And after using these properties, you need to give the path of the directory or file. Clear? So likewise, if you want to know that what is the actually work of the commands, and or we can say the help of the commands, if you want to see that the way of using of the commands, so you can use the uses command. You can use the uses command. Clear? Clear? Okay. So up to this we have been seen around 23 commands. Right. Then we have been seen around not 23 but around 15 commands. Right. Then another thing that I want to see, I want to do a file. I want to do a copy of file from a Hadoop cluster to a local machines. Now what we have been do first, local to Hadoop cluster. Now I want to do a reverse, Hadoop cluster to local machine. So what we can do? So HDFS, DFS, then copy to local. What we have been written before that? Copy from local. For what? From local to cluster. Now I want to do reverse, cluster to local. So what I will use? Copy to locals. So the first parameter is source, second one is your destination. My source is what? Hadoop cluster path. So my Hadoop cluster path is emp master. Inside that I have a file that is called empdata.txt, empdata.txt, that I want to move inside the home. Inside home, that is a Cloudera, and inside the Cloudera I have a directory that is called downloads. I want to move that file inside the downloads folder. right? So I will use the downloads. Alright, inside that I want to put that file, right? Now we'll see that file is there or not. Okay, so empdata.txt. Clear? Are you clear? Okay, just I will do again the same command. I will delete first this file. Okay, file is not there. File is not here. Right? I will perform the command. You will see. The file is here. empdata.txt with the same content. With the same content. Right? This is the one command. In place of copy to local, you can use the get command. You can use the get commands, so that I can use the emp backup, and inside the backup I have a file that is called the text1.txt. That file I will copy and paste inside the downloads. So that command is also there. Clear? You can see the another file is there, that is the text1.txt. Clear? So we have a copy to local. That now I want to see that how much file inside a particular directories. I want to see that how much file I have been created inside a particular directories, right? So HDFS DFS, then count, then inside the root of the Hadoop cluster, how much I have, total how much file I have been created, that I want to see. So HDFS DFS hyphen count, then root. So inside the root I have been created 288 directories, and inside the directories we have total 1249 files, right? Clear? Okay. Okay, like we can also use emp master. So we'll see how we can see. So we have two directories, emp master and emp backups, and inside that we have total 3 files, and total size of that file is 202 byte. This is the byte, this is represent the byte, right? Total byte is 202 bytes have been used in emp master. Clear? Count the directories, count the files, and total size. For that we use the count commands.
सर सिर्फ फाइल चाहिए हो तो
मतलब
खाली फाइल काउंट करना है.
Oh, the other one. Up to this clear? Clear? Okay. Okay, then we have another command that is called text file. Text command is there, but it is not so much important, but we'll see. Text command is there. Just so emp data.txt written like this. So it's display the data in a text format. Display the data into the text format. If you want to see the data in the text format, you can see the text command. Now what is the difference between cat and text? Text command, it shows the whatever values you have been written inside the file into the text format. but cat command it shows as it is which format you have been written inside the file. That is only a different. Else both are used to view the values of the files. Right. So suppose I will return like this. Now we'll see what happened. Let me see. So it's only a directory, so it will not read anything. Clear? So this kind of activity you can perform by your own way. You just change something, you will, and then you will find out that what happened, what happened. Right? Then another thing that we should know that help command is there also. We can use the Hadoop, HDFS, DFS. Help command is we have to find out the help of all the commands whatever you want to use. So that is a bulk of commands we have. Text command is there, tail command is there, state command is there, mv command is there, put command is there, right? So this all you can use using the uses as well. Now for example, uses is there to display the uses for given command or all command if none is specified. So help will show the all the help of all the commands, but uses is used for a specific command. If you want to see a help or if you want to help of some specific commands only, so you can use the uses. But if you want to list out all the commands that you can use with the Hadoop cluster, so you can use the help commands. That is only a difference, right? So help is there. Then second one that is called the df command. The dist uses, dist file use. How many dist use you have? How many use of space by the Hadoop cluster? That if you want to see. So that for that you can use the Hadoop DFS, then df. Dist file uses. So you can see my file system is Vista Cloudera. Total size of this is around 58 GB. Out of 58 GB, I have been used around 932 MB storage space. Available this much byte I have. We have available this shows in the form of the byte. Right? You can convert it, and total used is only a 2%. Whatever space I have been allotted to my Hadoop cluster for storing the data, out of that I have been just used only a 2%. So if you want to see the total use of the cluster disk space, how many disk space used by the Hadoop cluster, if you want to see, so you can use by the df, right? So by this way, by this command, you will find out. Suppose if you use the multi node cluster, if you use the multi node cluster, if you do a setup for a multi node cluster, and if you find out that how many data nodes we have, and each data nodes use the how many space of it, which whatever they have. So by this command, I can find out. Just you return the HDFS DFS hyphen df, it will list out all the slave which there, how many size they have, how many is used, how many it's available in percentage, how many used. That you can find out where when we use the multi-node cluster. But right now we have a single node everything within my machine. My machine is a data node as well as the right. So this is the thing that you can find out may over here, right? So the same thing you will find out over here as well, right? So out of 2%, around 1.60, मतलब major part of that data storage is used by the data node, and rest of the part is used by the name nodes, right? That means around 20% space used by the name node and 75% used by the data node for storing the data, right? So that should be very much clear. So that is my twist start Cloudera, right? So everything is over here. Whatever you will find out over here, same thing you will find out over here using the DF command. Clear? Then if I want to change the replications, right now we have only a single node cluster, right? So if I will change the replications factor, right now what we have are replications, so you can find out over here. So that so inside the utility browse file systems, suppose I have emp master, I have a emp data.txt, and emp data.txt have a total replication factor is 1. How many replication I have right now? Only a one replication, means only this copy we haven't any another copies. This is a single node cluster. If I will create another applications, if I will create a multiple application for the same file, but at a time only one application will be alive, as rest all will be a inactive modes, right? Just a minute, a charger, right? So but if I want to change my replication level, suppose by default it is 3. By default, how many replication performed by the Hadoop cluster? 3. But suppose I want to create a 5 replications. I want to create 6 replications. I want to create a more than 3 replications. We can simply say the more than 3 replications. How we can do that? So that command will see now. Just a minute. Just I will charge laptop. So okay. So the command is HDFS, DFS, HT SAT, that is all SAT replications. SAT replications. This is the command SAT replications. Then give the W for waiting. W for waiting. When you set the replications, up to the replication is not set, the process will be into the waiting stage. Process will be into the waiting stage, right? So W, then your application level, how many replication you want to perform. So I want to create a 2 replication. I want to create a 2 replications for the EMP master, and inside that we have a EMP data.txt. I want to create a 2 replications of the EMP data.txt. Right now I have only a 1 replication. You can find out over here EMP master root. Inside we have a EMP master. Inside the EMP master I have a file that is name is EMP data.txt, and they have only a 1 replication factor right now. Now I want to create a 2 replications. I want to create a 2 replications. So which command I will use? I will use the sat rep. That means is sat replications. Then -w is stand for waiting. Then set your application factor. So in place of 1 is there. I want to increase it by 2. And of which file you want to change the replications. So I want to change the replication of emp data.txt. Clear up to this? Okay, now I'll press the enter. Now we'll see. The process is drawn into the waiting stage. The process is drawn into the waiting stage. Replication to set. Replication to set. Now we'll see. Just refresh it. Application status is to set. You will find out 2 is there. Before, what is there? 1. Right now, what we have? 2. Why process going to into the waiting stage? Because applications as a logically they have 2 replication, but physically it has only 1 replication. That's why it is into the waiting stage. If actually physically if 2 replication will be performed, then your process will automatically give a message by a successful replication generated. Where it will happen this thing when we use the multi-node cluster. At that time we can actually physically perform or set that application. This command right now what we are used in my single node cluster. It display whatever output in a logical form. Logically it has a 2 application, but right as a time only 1 application is active. Second one will be in inactive modes because it is not there. You cannot create a multiple replication onto the same data node. Replication will be generated onto the different data nodes. One data node has a source, and then that's whatever application of that source will be generated, that will be stored into a different data nodes. But right now we have a single data node. So logically they have a 2 replication, but physically they have only a 1 application. So I need to terminate this process by Control C. Right? I need to terminate the process. If you want to do a wait, you can. But right now we haven't so much time for waiting. So I will just terminate. Right? But my replication is set. I have been changed my replication from 1 to 2, and now we have been set a 2 as a replication factor of the file empdata.txt. Clear? Okay. Then that is a command, that is a set replications. Then we have a state commands which is used to see sort informations of your directory or file, that if you can use the HDFS DFS hyphen state then your path directory. So I have a directory that is the emp master. Now we'll see what happens. So where I have been modified last as well the Hadoop cluster, it shows the last modification date and time. State, it's provide the state of changing which have been occurred in your file system or in your Hadoop cluster directory. Right? So emp master directory is changed on 10th of February. The time is 5:36. This time is not your local machine time. This is a time of Hadoop cluster what they used, right? So May is differ. Right now as far as my time is 11:36, but it shows the 5:36. So maybe it's used some another country time. Maybe so use some another country time. So if you change, so it will do. But it's the state command is used for to display the last modification date and time. Clear up to this? If I want to display the last modification date and time of specific directory or specific file, so which command will you use? State command. Okay. Then I I want to append a file. See, I have one file inside the EMP backups. I have one file that is TS text1 and EMP data. I have two files inside the EMP backup text1 on EMP. I want to merge this both file. I want to merge this both file and make another file. Are you clear? I want to merge a file. So what we can do, so HDFS DFS, the command is append to file, append to file, then EMP master, then EMP backup, and inside that I have a file that is called emp data.txt. Then we have another file, we have a EMP master, inside that we have a EMP backup, and inside that we have a test1.txt. Two files we have, and I want to create another file by appending both data in that. That is called the EMP master, and the file name is emp sample.txt. We'll see. What a file is emp data.txt, no such file and directory. What happened? Let me see. The emp backup, emp data.txt is there. Okay, emp data.txt slam, then emp master slash emp data.txt. What happened? Okay, master is there. Okay, let me see. emp backup file is not there, or just I need to rephrase it first. What changes is there? emp data is there. Okay, but just I will use the another file that is called the tests1 dot, the tests1 dot txt. Okay, command is right, but tast tst test1 dot txt. Let me see. No such file or directory. Where? Append to file, that is right. First I will clear. Okay, HDFS DFS append to file, then my source file is emp master. What I will use the home Cloudera, Cloudera. Inside that I have a downloads. Inside that I have a emp data.txt. Another file that is called the em home. Inside that I have a Cloudera. Inside that I have a downloads. Inside I have a text 1.txt, and that I want to append inside the emp master, and inside that I have emp data.txt. Right, so I have emp data.txt. Yes, I have, or I can use emp sample.txt. Okay, I will use the emp sample.txt. Okay, let me see. Okay, so both files are appended inside the emp sample.txt. Now we will see that what data inside the, how we can display the data. Cat, cat, emp master, and inside that we have emp sample dot txt. Now we'll see. Okay, so we have been appended two file data. The emp data contain this one, right? The emp data file contain this thing, and that's one file contain this thing. Both files are appended inside the sample dot txt. So by this way you can append a multiple file data into a single file, right? Likewise, if you want to do a reverse, that you can also do, but that will, it will happen into the HDFS. If you want to do a same thing into a local machine, HDFS to local, this happen local to HDFS. If you want to do HDFS to local, so what command we have? We have a merge command. We have a merge command that is called the dat merge. The command name is only dat merge. Just write down the dat merge that you need to perform by your own way. Right? So you can use the dat merge command. You use the, in place of append, you can use the dat merge. Right? That you need to use by your own way. Clear? Okay. So count we have been seen. We have been seen a count commands. Okay. So let me see again. Okay, let me see again the count command, count hyphen emp master. So what we have inside the emp master? So we have total 2 4 3 3 2. Now we have set of option in the count. One, you can use the count is just to count the total file, directory, etc. Now I want to see that with the header line. I want to see the header as well. So slash v hyphen v. So we have a total directory count, file count, content size, and path. So we have total two directories, total 4 files, total content is 332 bytes, and the which path I have been used for find out this all the thing, emp master. So first properties of the count is hyphen v. Second one is h. H is used for store size in a human readable format. So how much size you can use for read the data? 332 bytes. So same thing is over here. But HV is stand or V for use to display the total file and directories with the header. With the header. Then U is there. Another property is that is the U is there, and it is used for to show the quotas and uses only, right? So you can use the U. Okay, U is there, H is there, V is there. Okay, X is there, X. We can use the X. What happened over here? H, V, we have been seen. Let me see the X. So X is also a same kind of thing. The X is just see the quota and uses nothing. But the main now we'll see the Q. We'll see the okay. Q is should be a small Now true is there. So true will display the what? Is again the same thing. The 2, 4 and other is thing, and it shows that other two thing is the mounted space which are there or not. Have been you have been mounted anything or not? So we have been nothing to mount right now. So all are none. So basically for count command you can use the hyphen v. You can use the hyphen v. Clear? Then another command, that is a tail command. That is called the tail command. Tail command, it display 1 KB size of data, last 1 KB size of data. Within a file, if you want to see a last 1 KB of data, last, so you can use the tail commands. So HDFS, DFS, hyphen tail, then your file. You can use the file, then we have a emp master, and inside that we have a emp sample.txt. Yes. So the last tail command is there. 1 KB. So right now we have only total size of the directory is 332 bytes. So it shows all the things. But if you have a large file, so at that time it will display only a 1 KB file. Right? Okay. You can use directly tail as well. Right. So is there, tail is there. Right. So I think we have been covered all the major commands which normally used into the HDFS. Now only one command is remain, that is called the permissions. Okay, let me clear first of all this all the thing, and now we'll learn a very important thing about the permissions. ls, then we have a file name, that is emp master, and we have a emp sample.txt. Okay, so let me you can see over here, uh, we have one file, that is the emp sample.txt, which have three permissions: read, write, read and write. Now let me see that what is the ch command first of all, so you are more familiar. So ch command is stand for change mode, change mode of the permissions. Ch command is used for the change mode of the permissions. So let me see, is there or not? Okay, not there. Okay, ch mode. So basically, 8. It is ch mode command use a binary values. First thing, ch mode command use a binary values. Binary values is what? 0 1, 0 and 1, right? And total we have 8 different permissions. We have total 8 different permissions by combinations of read, write and execute. 0 to 7, total 8, right? So first X is stand for execute, W stand for the write, and R stand for the read. If I will set as a 0, all zeros, that means they have no permissions. of read, write and executes. Then if you set 1, that means a read permissions. If you set 2, that means they have only write permission. That you will set a 3, that means it's called the read and write permission. If you set a 4, that means they have only execute permissions. If you set a 5, that means they have execute and read permissions. If you set 6, that means they have execute and write permissions. And if you set a 7, that means they have a read, write and execute all permissions. Right? Clear? Total 8 permissions. Null, read, write, read write, execute, execute read, execute write, and execute read and write. Total 8 permissions we have. Okay. Now we have a 3 different users in CH mode. We are normally use the CH mode 777 in Linux. If you know the CH mode, so the CH mode command like this CH mode, then you need to pass the 3 values 534 777. So first, second and 3. First 7, second 7 and third 7. What is demonstrate? So the first 7 is represent the user permissions. Second 7 is represent the group permission, and third 7 is represent the owner permissions. We have 3 different users. We have 3 different peoples who communicate with your clusters. One is a user, second is a owner, and third is a group. Clear? Right now we are not discussing in detail what is the group, what is the owner. We will discuss that. You need to learn this all the thing by your own way, because this is not a part of this theory portions, this HDFS theory portions, right? But normally we have a users from the group, and group has one owner. That means a simple life cycle. We can, one owner is there, they are created one groups. We can solve the Patel group institution is what? Owner. Owner have a group that is called the MCA, MBA, this kind of group they have. Inside the MCA, they have a lot many students. Each student is what? The user. Right? So one institution is there. Inside they have courses, that is their group, and inside the courses, whatever they have employees, students, they that all are a users. So like this, they have. So user have a different permission, group has a different permissions, and owner have a different permissions. Right? Clear? Okay. So now how we can use this command? Now suppose I want to set a permissions for emp sample.txt. What's permission they have? Read write, read and read. Means read write is what? Read write is that is your 3 and 1 1. Right now you have a 3 1 1, but I want to change with the 7 1 1, or we can, I want to change with the 7 7 7. Right? So what I need to do? HDFS DFS hyphen ch mode command. You can use the ch mode command. Then you just give your permissions. So I want to change by 5 3 3. 5 means what? 5 means execute and read. 3 means write and read. Right? So my output it should like this 533. Right? We'll see. Okay, then emp master, then emp sample.txt. I will press the enter. Okay, permission is changed. Now we'll see ls command. Now you can see read, execute, sorry, that is read and execute and write, and execute and write. Read and execute is for what? 5. Read and execute is for what? 5. And write and read is 3. They can find out. This is the read and execute, that is my 5. Then next 3, that is a read, 3 number, and then another 3. Now we will change with the 777. Okay, now I will change with the 777. All the permission to all the users. Right? Now we'll see. Clear? Clear? So it may ask that just change the permissions of the users by these, change the permission by the owners, change the permission of the group. You can change like this. So first is the users, then is a group, third one is a what? Clear? Up to this, is there any query? So how much command that we have been seen? Let we list first, so it's more clear. So in today's session, we have been seen around 30 different, 30 or maybe more than 30 different commands. Let me see. First one is the fsct ls, then ls/r is there, right? Read directories and subdirectories. Then which command we have been seen that for one, that is the mkdir, right? Then we have another command that is called the touchz for creating the empty file. We have a du commands for display what? The file size, to check the file size. Then we have a cat commands, we have a dat commands, we have a copy, to local, we have a copy from local, we have a put, we have a mv commands, we have a cp commands, right? We have a rm commands, we have a rm-r commands, we have a rmdir commands, right? Then we have a text command, then we have a count commands with the different properties like count-v, count-s, like this. Then we have another command that is called test command that we have been written already. Then we have expunge command for delete all the trash file from the Hadoop cluster. Then we have a uses command for display the help of the specific command. Then help command to display all the commands which you have been used in the Hadoop cluster. Then you have a df commands for find out the Hadoop distributed file systems, that how many nodes we have, which space they have, how, right? Then replications, set replications we have. Then we have a state commands, right? Last modification date and time I can find out using the state command. Then ch mode commands that we have been seen. Then append to file, right, to merge a multiple file into the single file. Then we have that merge command, the vice versa, Hadoop at cluster to local and local to cluster. Then tail commands to display 1 KB of data of the files. Right. So let me count that how many records, that how many commands we have been seen. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 21 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 10 मतलब तकरीबन 30, right? 30 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 2 3 4 5 6 7 9 10 30, right? So as the starting of the session I have been said that we will see today top 30 commands which you can use, you can use it for HDFS, right? So that is a top 30 commands. Normally you can see over here. But means we can see the whatever exercise you have that you can complete within these 30 commands. You do not require any other commands because this is more than enough command today we have been seeing. And this much command you will never find out on any online tutorials. Even you just find out the HDFS command right on YouTube. So they will give you a 10, 12, 15 commands. You will not find out this all bundle on into a single platforms, right? So today we'll trying to collect all the commands and put in onto a single platforms, right? So as far as my concern, this is as much enough to communicate or to learn to store a data onto the Hadoop cluster, and for all the storage relevant operations this must command is more than enough, right? Once you have been complete this all the tasks as a practice, and then after you need to complete whatever the lab exercise you have, that you need to complete. And then if you have any query as far as the practical concern, that will complete or that will see it, if you have any problems. But up to these 30 commands, whatever we have been seeing, if you have any query you can ask. If you have any query? No? Clear? So okay, so let me conclude. Okay, so okay, so top 30 commands of the HDFS, and today your HDFS is over. This is the last and first session of the HDFS command. Clear? In the next session we'll start a peak or high, right? But what we need to start, whatever we will start, before that you need to complete these all the commands. You need to perform as well as you need to complete 10 minutes, or you need to complete your lab exercise as well. Clear? Then after we'll start a next session. So hope so that on after one or two lab session we'll start the next session regarding the peak or may high. So my target that within a 5 to 6 session of the next 5 to 6 session we'll complete peak and high both, and then we'll start a scoop, flumes, OZ like this, right? And then we'll start a spark as well, right? So up to that, okay, okay. So we'll conclude it.